Hey boys, Scotty the Redneck Canadian. Today I had a bunch of my friends asking, because I've been switching my wood stoves over. Get out of the way, Eddie. Eddie likes the wood stove too. Over to the newer EPA certified models, and I just replaced the old 1981 low-pi stove insert that I had with this Drolet Escape 1400, and I've had it in here for a week, and I gotta say I love it. So I just want to go through a couple of things about this model if you're interested in getting it. I bought it on the secondary market. One kind of cool thing about these is that because you need really, really bone dry wood, which I have access to, I mean that's hard sugar maple there, and it's bone dry. You need really dry wood, otherwise it doesn't work. And if you're buying firewood off of people, you're probably going to have to season it for an entire year before you can get it to work in one of these EPA stoves. Man, let me tell you, they're hot. But because a lot of people are buying truckloads of wood and processing it, or just buying it processed, it's not seasoned long enough. It doesn't work in these stoves. So I got this stove, which is $1,600 from Home Depot with the flue liner kit. I got the stove for $300, and it only cost me $300 for the flue liner. So that's a pretty significant savings of $1,000. Anyways, let me go through the stove with you. Okay, so you got your door opens pretty much like a conventional stove. You can crack it like that. You can see everything's flying around in there. And then you've got your air control over here to throttle it back. It actually moves a lever back inside of here, and there's a hole in the middle, and that's what covers it up or lets it open. And then see up in here there's tubes, and that will actually start drafting the smoke from the bottom and going up there, and there's insulation, and so what happens is it reburns the smoke, and it's incredible how much hotter this gets. It's even with it dampered down, how much hotter it is and how much more efficient it is. So one thing I do like about it is this ledge here. See, there's a ledge right there. So in the stoves that I had before, everything would always, you know, the ash would always jam up in there. And the other thing I like is now you really don't want to go bigger than 13 inches on this stove when you cut your firewood. But in the stoves that I had before, the glass was always inside, whereas this one, it's kind of recessed in the door. So that will actually fit. It would be, you know, you would have to be dumb or really drunk to crack this glass by putting firewood in it. The other thing I really like is the fan here actually has a thermal sensor back in behind here, and it will shut the fan down if the stove's not burning hot. And so when you load it up at night, you know, it'll burn an easy 8 hours hot too with this amount of wood right here. But if you let it go cold, you're not wasting electricity on the fan. And part of the reason that they did that was because in order to get that secondary burn to go, you need it to get hot. So let me load this up. One tip or trick that I learned is when you're loading it up, don't load it all up. Put 2 or 3 pieces in on the bottom and let it get going like that, because if you load it up, it's just going to take you 20 minutes for it to really get rolling again. All right, we've got our 2 pieces. That only took a minute or 2. 2 pieces in there. I'm just going to stack the stove up real quick. Pieces I brought in. I started it up last night at 7:45, or I loaded it at 8:15, I'm sorry. And I went to bed around 10:30. I woke up this morning at 6, and the fan blower was still going, and it was nice and warm in here. So you can definitely get an overnight burn out of it. You know, watch when you're loading it. It takes a little bit of finagling sometimes to get that reburn. Now you can see there's a lot of smoke coming out of it right now. That is one downside to this, is you will get a lot of smoke. The other downside is you're not going to get We're just gonna give up on that one because it's 13.5 inches and it's not gonna fit. Now I'm getting smoked out anyways. So when you're loading it and you got a lot of coals in there, it's gonna produce a lot of smoke into your house. There's really no way. I mean, you can shut the blower off, but that's not really gonna do much. The other thing that I don't like about this stove is this cover here for the blower. You got to open the door to get it off, but you can see it just traps all the crap in there. But really, I mean, that's my only complaints about it. It would have been nice if the chimney was back further, the exit for the chimney liner, because, you know, it would have been nice to bring this out to the face of the fireplace like the old one was. But honestly, I don't know, I kind of like the look of it. You know, with the fireplace unmolested, I don't think it looks bad. So, all in all, yeah, definitely worth the money. If you've got an older non-EPA stove, sell it. Sell it to somebody who doesn't want to put a chimney liner in. Spend the $300 or whatever. It was $300 for a 15-foot chimney liner. And, I mean, you'll go through half the wood. It's going to be so hot. I mean, there's my regular sitting space over there. You could probably tell by the ass groove in the... I was sitting over there this morning, and I could feel the heat blasting. And with the old one, you know, non-EPA, you could never feel the direct heat off of the stove all the way over there. So, all in all, I definitely give this a thumbs up.